Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss about the dependence analysis of data arrays in Module 5. Let us go to the topic. Dependent analysis of data array is a problem of determining when two computations refer to or update the same elements of an array. So this is a problem. How it is determined means when these two computations are referring or to going to update the same element of an array. So why it is important means it is essential for determining the legal and appropriate transformations of a program. Process of computing all data dependence in a program is called as dependent analysis. The analysis which computes all the data dependence in a program is called as a dependence analysis. So here one important term is called as iteration space. So iteration space is, as the name itself, it tells about the space required for executing a program in a looping segment. So what is the exact space required for executing a one loop in n iterations? Say for example, if you are executing your one loop in n times, means what is the dimensional space is required for executing it is called as iteration space. So when one object is in the data array is specified in the multidimensional subscript, and the dependence becomes very difficult to determine at a compile time. Precise and efficient dependencies tests are essential to the effectiveness of a parallelizing computer. The process of computing all the data dependence in a program is called as the dependence analysis. Why this dependency testing is required? What is the dependency testing means? It is a technique in which the application's requirements are pre-examined for an existing software, because calculating the data dependence for an array is a complicated one. Because it's not a easier one, it is a complicated one. Why it is complicated means because two array references may not access the same memory location. That's the reason it is not it is more complicated. And dependence testing is a method to determine whether the dependencies exist between two subscripted references to the same array. So it is one of the method to determine whether the dependencies are existing between the two subscripted references or not. So this is a one example loop. So according to this example, I1 is a one variable, I2 is a one variable. Here it has the maximum and upper limitations of L1 comma U1. L1 is the lower limit and U1 is the upper limit. Similarly, I2 variable is having the L2 as a lower limit, U2 is the higher limit. Likewise, there are n number of variables are there, right? So there are n number of variables there. So these are executed in a n iterations. Inside it, there are two statements are there. Likewise, it is written in a hierarchical way. So how we can find out the dependency means finding the dependency in this case of iteration is very difficult. So how we can overcome, how we can rectify it means there are some equations are allowed, because finding the data dependencies at the compilation time and priorly is not an easier one. So we cannot find out the exact test of finding the dependency. So but we can do the dependencies test by finding out some equations here. So likewise, some variables I have taken here. Let alpha and beta be the vectors of n integer indices with the ranges of upper and lower limits of one n loop means. So alpha and beta are the vectors of n integer indices, right? So that integers are going to be executed in a n loops. So at that case, for a statement S1 to S2, how we can find out the dependence means there is a dependence from S1 to S2 if and only if there exists alpha and beta such that the alpha is lexigraphically lesser than or equal to 3. Okay, so the value of alpha should be lesser than or equal to 3 means there will be a dependencies exist between the alpha and beta. So this is written in one dependency equation as fi of alpha is equal to gi of beta. Here f and g are the different functionalities which carries the vectors of alpha and beta respectively. Then now we are taking another one examples. With that example, one iteration space is drawn here. So according to this example, it has two variable I and j. So do I equal to 0 comma 5 means I is having the lower value of 0 and upper value of 5, and similarly j is having the lower value of I 1 and higher value of 7. After that one function is written, then it will be ended respectively. So this is the two level looping statement. How the diagram is drawn means here I is drawn in horizontal position, j is drawn in vertical, that means y axis. So for each cases, for each value of I and j, the functionality is carried out. It is mentioned in a dark circle. So when I equal to 0, j is also 0. When I equal to 1, j is also 1. Likewise it will continue up to 5. When it reaches I equal to 5, j will be the 5. After that I cannot be incremented because the upper limit of I equal to 5 only. So after that it will be doing, no, it will retain the value of I equal to 5, but j value in the inner loop will be executing to reach its maximum limit. So what is the maximum limit of j? 7. So after the fifth point, it will again execute it 2 times to reach the 7. So at that time what happens, the value of I will retain to 5, but j value will be incremented by 6 to 7. So that is what drawn here. Okay, fine. So how we can do this kind of categorized dependence test means there is a one testing algorithm is followed which will partition the data in a partition. Partition the data in the sum of distance vector. By finding the distance, it will follow one distance vector, and it has the one algorithm of procedure. It's algorithm in the sense it's a procedure for dependency testing based on partitioning approach. Okay, so the first step is, first of all, partition the subscript into a separable and minimum coupled groups. So the first step is the subscripts are the separated and it is formed as a minimum coupled groups. So here after that what will happen means this is the steps, second steps. So it is derived by the author called Koff and Kennedy, and the inputs are a pair of m-dimensional array references. Output is a set of partitions. For each I equal to 1 to n, do P of Si. This is done for, that means for each process the statement has been written. Then the second is for each indexes of this one, it is divided into number of distance vector. It is given here. So for the third step, for each separable subscript, apply title appropriate single subscript test. So here some of the categorized dependence tests are there. So those are called as ZIV, SIV, MIV, and so on. So like that, some of the categorized dependence tests are there. Like that it is titled. So the title is applied here and it will produce the independence or distance vector for the indices occurring in the subscript. Then in the fourth step, what will happen, for each coupled group in the third step it is being grouped for each coupled group, and again the multiple subscript test is applied to produce the set of distance vector. So this distance vector is very, very important. The fourth step is to find the set of distance vector, and after the distance vector has been found out, in the fifth step what happens, it will test whether the dependencies exist or not. If it is not exist, we'll leave it, or else we have to merge all the distance vector computed in the previous steps. So these are all the procedures to be followed in the categorized test. testing test. So I hope you understand the concept of this one. I'll catch you in the next video about next topic. Thank you.